Well, I have a couple of thank yous for this. Smiling Angel by Stephen Foster. Magical cocoon nuts came to me from a smiling angel, I do believe, and I am honored that they're around me. How fortunate can one man be to have this gift bestowed on me? And when I wear them, I see the light. They give me hope, but best of all, they help me write.
Yeah. It looks funny.
Thank you, Robin.
That's a brand new poem.
Yeah, I just
Brand
liked
new.
it.
You
Yeah.
just wrote it.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Manny. Some cooey nuts. Melinda. I started to watch a movie by the name of Matilda the other night. Danny DeVito was narrating about a little girl that loved to read books. He said, "So Matilda's strong young mind continued to grow, nurtured by all those others who had sent their books out into the world, like ships out on the sea. These books gave Matilda a hopeful and comforting message. You are not alone." And that's when I stopped watching TV and started to write. I think that all writers dream of sending their children one day out to the sea of humanity. But for most, it rarely happens. That is just part of the dream, a fantasy. But that is not the reason that we write. We write because that is who we are. It doesn't come from the need to be famous or to get rich. It comes from the unrequited need somewhere deep within the essence of our beings, even deeper than our hearts. So here we are, the lucky few, who by some stroke of luck, some whirlwind of grace that goes by the name of Belinda Gone, who not only had the need to write, but the drive and ambition and undying energy somehow to come up from the depths of her father's hard work in the mines to Maui and then to us. She is our angel sent by God, or just pure love. So here I stand before you, and you allow me to flounder forth in front of you, and you're really listening and are really interested to hear what I have to share with you. How do I know? Because never once have I sat here and not listened to every one of you with total interest. No one else in the world cares enough about what we do to take the time to even try us out. They have no interest in us or anyone else but themselves. It takes more than blood to be true family. It takes more than just having a child to be a mother, or just going to work to be a father. Somehow Melinda found a way to find us, and somehow we found a way to find her. Thank you. You know, poets do... Oh. Melinda, I had this poem she wanted me to read it. I wrote it a long time ago. This is about Lahaina Library. We years ago set the Lahaina Library. You can still go to Second Tuesday. Maui Live. We sat there, all 6 or 7 of us, spilling our guts out one by one to each other in the Lahaina Branch Library in the children's corner.
Yeah.
Yes, we were sitting in semi-tiny little wooden chairs. They were built to last forever. I would love to meet the person that got the bright idea to use tennis balls for coasters on all the bottoms of each and every leg of the at least 14 or 15 chairs. That guy's a genius. In fact, I have tennis balls on all my furniture now. He must be a genius, but we didn't care how could we? We members and guests of the Maui Live Poetry Society. And after all, poets don't have the right to care. We're poets. We have no shame. How could we? After turning our souls inside out to one another, and if need be, the whole world. After all, we are poets. We have no shame. They should have named the Maui Poetry Society the Naked Live Poetry Society, for God's sakes. I doubt if there is a practicing introvert in the whole club. In fact, I, in my most subdued state, could only consider myself to be an extroverted introvert, and even then, that only acts in hindsight when I have made a fool of myself in someone else's eyes, but most certainly not my own. Damn those morals. I love to see the gleam in everyone's eyes as they listen to a fellow poet drop the axe on his or her own neck. I keep forgetting to bring a pen so I can hear it drop. Talk about a reality show. P.S. Some do, some don't, some will, some won't, and we do, each and every one of us. They can call us anything they want. Mandy, pandy, milquetoast, soft as butter. Bullshit. We're warriors, every one. You know, that's who poets are. I mean, we let it out there. I mean, life is letting it out there. I mean, everybody goes around, they're scared, you know, oh God, I hope nobody finds out this and that and all this stuff. You know, life is life. And if you look back in your life, how many crazy things have happened to us, or embarrassing things, and I write about other people, and I think that I have to let it out if I write about other people to keep my validity. And I'm going to prove my point right now. Trouble. Trouble around all the time. And the trouble with my kind of trouble is I've got the very worst kind. I got that devil trouble kind. And where there's my kind of trouble, you know that worry is not far behind. Worry around all the time. Most men think that poetry is a girly game, flowers sitting on a garden wall. Manly, candy, milquetoast thing, useless importance to everything that is manly. But I think of it in a different way. I look at us as warriors, every one. Who else is brave enough to put our thoughts and feelings on a line of scrutiny, to bear all in this world of egotistical negativity and childish thinkers who are afraid to tell the truth or show their feelings? I am proud of each and every one of you. But I am especially proud of Melinda Golan, who loves poetry so much that she has made it her life's work to bring it out into the light so that others like us can express ourselves too. To prove my point, no fool like an old fool. The glowing sun shimmered in the sky to the right of me as if hung there by a happy child still asleep in childhood dreams. Unaware of what life and trials and tribulations and wonders and tragedies and philosophical moments life might bring to life. A sadness trickled over me for a moment, and in that moment I thought of me and how we are all connected in a common bond and how we are all stardust from long gone quasars, and that silence and love are all who we really are. And how I got drunk not long ago and brought that bimbo home, and how she walked out with my cell phone and my camera. Camera and cell phone, and how I went to the pawn shop to see if it was there, and how 2 days later a knock came at my door, and when I opened it, my 47-year-old daughter was standing there looking at her father like all little girls do. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, "I was afraid to come by." I said, "Why? Did you think I was dead?" A little laugh bubbled up from somewhere deep inside of her that caught somewhere in her throat that kept it from coming out. "Well, I was calling you, but your cell phone was dead." Without hesitation, I told her the truth. And without hesitation, she mustered up a little sympathetic smile. "Well, I have a camera that I can give you." And Dad came out of her. And then she said that Lily, my granddaughter, was in the car, and we're having tacos tonight if you want to come over. I went back inside and sat down in an old rocker in the gloom of the semi-darkness and thought back to my old L.A. days. The song "Free Falling" by Tom Petty filtered through my mind. It's a long day living in Reseda. There's a freeway running through your yard. All the bad boys are hiding in the shadows, and all the good girls are home with broken hearts. And how we were all just kids having kids. And how my daughter's mother, my wife, ran off with an old boyfriend that just got out of jail. And how her boyfriend and her and another guy in a shotgun walked into the Swiss Miss bar and held it up. And how she got caught in the alley with the money. And that's how I got my father. And how we have tried to take care of each other ever since. And how we have always told each other the truth without reservation, without embarrassment or judgment. Only unconditional love. No fool like an old fool. It's time to write. It's the only political one I have. I just know work all my life. Proud of it. Proud of it. Do they sleep on the edge? Sounds like singing in my ears, kids. That's somehow connected to my brain trust of fears. To catch a mockingbird within the flight pattern of bygone years is like throwing spears into the wind and time warps in so many careers. I've danced atop of tower cranes and sloshed through gold-laden rivers with bears. I rebuilt cars in nighttime foul air and roofed on houses over children's prayers and dug drainage ditches between buildings where tractors could not bend. I worked in mines too dark to see and sold activities on Lahaina's Front Street. I had my own company called West Coast Gold and made fancy jewelry for local ladies to be. And then Steve's crane company somehow got found. Just one crane and me, but Steve or something. I drove from Maco's Shark, just me and my boat, up the California coast. Drove belly dumps in Alaska when I was home. Was the world's worst cabinet maker as an apprentice at the age of 16. And before that, I bussed and washed dishes. I remember one place where the owner's wife was. I drove long haul, I drove long haul trucks where you never get much sleep, and worked and got drunk with roughnecks in Long Beach on Anaheim Street. And I knew so many great men that no one else ever saw. They didn't know they were great. They were just doing their jobs. And then I have to wonder how crooked politicians can go to sleep at night in their dishonest beds. And do their wives really give it up? Or do they sleep on the edge? Redheads. Gotta love them. Never had a bad one yet. And in the nighttime they shine. Of course, in the morning, you never know what you're going to get. And in the afternoon, well, it will be evening soon. But when the nighttime curtain falls, and in the light of the silver, oh, how they shine. this is a truck driving one. You drive truck, you're out there so many, just forever. You just drive for a contractor, you pull into someplace, drop a load, you call a broker, you go you never get home. You're either in your truck or your sleeper. Here's truck. You better kiss me now, Mama. You better kiss me now, Mama. Because when the moon breaks over that mountaintop, I'm going to be running out of here because I'm walking. It's going to be too slow. You see, my real girlfriend is waiting for me down the road, and her 18 wheels are ready to roll. And when I fire her up, she's going to be a spit fire and blowing smoke black as coal. And I'm going to take her to that mountaintop over yonder. And when I do, I'm going to shake her down the other side real slow and pretend I'm skiing on the snow. You know, I think that old KW is about the best girlfriend I ever had. She makes me money when I drive her. Night she puts me to bed. Yeah, I think that old Ray's about the best girlfriend I ever had. She makes me money when I drive her. Night she puts me to bed. Best girlfriend I ever had.
All right, great reading. Thank you so much. Mr. ND, great reading.
Fire the songs from last night.